In today's video, I'll be sharing all the books on my impossible pile of possibilities for Shorty September. Hi everyone, welcome to Cook, Create, Read. My name is Terry and I'm a middle-aged mixed genre mood reader. I really love the Shorty September reading challenge. I'll put the names of the hosts here because I can't remember who's doing it this year, which is terrible. Shorty September is a month-long reading challenge where we read short books. You can decide how short your books are. For me, I've chosen books that are less than 250 pages. So I've gone through all my shelves and picked out around, I think I've got around 40 books here that either meet the prompts or some of them don't meet the prompts at all. They're just random books. There's no way I'm going to be reading all of these books, but I don't like having a set TBR. I get very rebellious when I set myself a TBR and then just decide I'm not reading any of those books. Thank you very much. So I like to have a lot of books that I can choose from depending on my mood. So there's 12 prompts this year. I've got a few books for each of the prompts and then some extra ones that don't fit the prompts at all. I don't know a lot about these books, so I won't be able to share much in the way of synopsis or anything, but let's get started. The first prompt is Runway Fashion Shorts, read a translated book. So I have got 5 books on this in this category that I might read. The first one is on my Kindle and that is The Premonition by Banana Yashimoto. I've had this book on my Kindle for a really long time. I'm not really sure what it's about. I think it's kind of like a dreamlike vibe. I'm not 100% sure, but I would really like to get to it this year. I'm going to say that about all of them, so actually I'm not going to say that anymore. Next one I have is The Heart by Maylista Karangel. This is translated from the French by Sam Taylor. And this is about a young man who dies in a surfing accident and his heart is donated and transplanted into another man. And then we follow that man's life from there, I think. So it sounds like it's going to be a bit of an emotional read, I think, this one. The next one I have is Now and at the Hour of Our Death by Susana Morea Marquez, translated by Julia Sanchez. And I think this follows a woman who works in a palliative care team, so helping people at the end of their lives. This is probably also going to be a bit of an emotional one. Looks like I might be in for an emotional time. Then we have Astragal by Albertine Sarrazin. Is that right? Sarrazin, yeah. And this has got an introduction by Patti Smith, who I love. This is set, I believe, in the 1960s, and we follow the perspective of a woman who has just been released from prison. I have had this, I put this on my TBR, my September TBR, every year for the last, I don't know how many years I've been doing this now, 3 years maybe, and I just haven't got around to reading it, so I would really like to get to this one this year. And then the final one I have on this in this category is Heaven by Mieko Kawakami. This is translated from the Japanese by Sam Bett and David Boyd. This was a very popular book a few years ago, and it was actually shortlisted for the 2022 International Book Prize. I think this one is about 2 people in high school who are bullied, I believe, and I think they come together and develop a friendship. The second prompt is Half and Half Shorts, and that is to read a book and then watch the film. I don't have a lot of film adaptations on my shelves, or short ones anyway, that I'm aware of. There may be some that I don't know have been made into films, but I have got 2. The first one is Rosemary's Baby by R11. I have seen the film of Rosemary's Baby before, but I've never read the book. I've had this for yonks. I would like to read it and then I would like to watch the film again. I just don't know. I did enjoy the film, but I just don't know if I'm going to like this book. I don't know why. I don't know why I get that impression. And then the second one is Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk. And this one, I haven't seen the film. I know it's got Brad Pitt in it. And just the title of this puts me off. I don't really like fighting. But I've heard it's really good. The film's meant to be pretty good. So I'll give that one a go. The third prompt is Ripped Shorts, and it's to read a horror mystery thriller book. So actually this is the prompt that I probably had the most books for, and a lot of the books in the other prompts could also fit into this category. But the 3 I've chosen for this prompt are Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson. I think this is kind of a body horror type book. Not really sure what it's about, but it's got a stunning cover. Then we have Graveyard Shift by M.L. Rio. This has got a pretty gross cover with a rat with blood coming out of it, surrounded by mushrooms. Not really sure what this one's about. Set in one dark evening in October. and some people find a freshly dug grave where no grave should be. And then we have Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder. This was very much hyped in the last few years, and I think this follows a new mum who thinks she's turning into a werewolf. I mean, we've all been there after we've just had a baby. So yeah, it's meant to be really good, this one. I think this is probably the longest book on my pile of possibilities. It's around 240 pages, but yeah, so I would really like to get to this one as well. I'll keep saying it. Shut up. Fourth prompt is boxer shorts to read a comfort read. So for me, actually, a comfort read is probably a mystery thriller, but because I've got mystery thrillers throughout the whole challenge, I decided to go for something else. I've got two books here by the same author, and I think they are going to be nice, gentle, refreshing reads, a little bit different to the rest of the books that I've got on my TBR. The first one is We All Want Impossible Things by Catherine Newman, and then we have Sandwich by Catherine Newman. This one I bought in, what's it called, Wild Plum Books in St Helena when we were on our road trip recently. I'll link that video actually, because I show you clips of all the bookshops that we went to on our road trip. So I don't really know what either of these are about. Well, this one is a family story about people who come together at this house every year, I think, and this one, no idea what this one's about. Next up we've got Short Shorts, and it's to read a book set or published in the 1970s or 1980s. For this one I've chosen LA Woman by Eve Babbitt. This was published in 1982, and it is set in the 1960s, and it follows the story of a young woman who is obsessed with Jim Morrison. Me too. Not that I'm a young woman, but I was obsessed with Jim Morrison when I was a young woman, which was not in the 1960s. Next up we've got Grandad Shorts, and it's to read a book that you have had on your shelf for a while. So out of all of the books that I picked out for this challenge this year, this is the book that I think I've had for the longest time, and it's Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut. This book's so short, it's like 150 pages. It's supposed to be a classic. Don't really know what it's about. It says the most original anti-war novel since Catch-22. I did try to read Catch-22 and really couldn't get into it and gave up on it. So hopefully I'll do better with this one, but it's so short. Should be able to just zip that one out. Prompt number 7 is Culottes, to read a book that looks like one thing but is actually something else. And for this one I have chosen We All Rot Eventually by Mia Ballard. This looks to me from the cover like it should be a children's book. Pink, fluffy, stars and hearts, but it is actually a body horror. I think it's an extreme horror book. It's really short. Don't really know much more about it than that, but looking forward to reading it. It's definitely not what it looks like on the cover. Prompt number 8 is Running Shorts, and it is to read a book in a very short space of time, so within a day or two. So to be honest, most of these books, if I could sit down and read all day, I would be able to read them all, each one of these in a day or less. But for this prompt in particular, I've picked out two books. The first one is West by Karis Davies, and I think this is the story of a man who leaves his young daughter on her own while he goes off on some adventure in the west of America, the western uncharted territory beyond the Mississippi River. Then the second one I have for this prompt is I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. I've been dying to read this book for so long. I just really need to sit down and read it. It's really short, obviously. It's Shorty September, they're all short. But this one is about a group of women who have been imprisoned. That's all I know really, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to love this book. I just need to read it. Prompt number 9 I kind of struggled with. It is Bike Shorts, to read a book and then do a deep dive into some of the topics in the book. I really struggled with this one because until I read the books I don't really know what I want to learn more about. But I have picked out one, and that is Hangs a Man by Shirley Jackson, and I thought I would like to know more about the author. I don't really know a lot about her at all, and yeah, so I picked that one. I don't really know what this story is, but I think all of her books are kind of a little bit on the creepy side. Love the cover, and yeah, so I would love to know more about Shirley Jackson. Next up we've got Utility Kilt. Read a retelling of a fairy tale or legend or some traditional story. This is another one I really struggled with. I don't read a lot of retellings. I don't really enjoy them. I don't even know if they're just not something I'm drawn to be honest. I have got The Bloody Chamber by Angela Carter. This is a collection of short stories. I think each of them is a retelling of a fairy tale. I think there's Red Riding Hood in here, Sleeping Beauty. I'm not sure which others, but that one fits the bill for this prompt, and I think it's the only short book I have that does fit the prompt. Prompt number 11 is Patent Leather Shorts, to read a book that is a graphic novel or outside of your comfort zone. So I've got two graphic novels here. First one is Dare to Disappoint, Growing Up in Turkey by, who's it by? Oh dear, by Özge Samansi. Sorry, I've probably butchered that name. This one looks really cool. The art is kind of quite sparse. I don't read a lot of graphic novels, although the ones that I have read I have really enjoyed, so hopefully I will enjoy this one. And then the other one is Take It As a Compliment by Maria Stoyan. I think this one is about men's attitude towards women, so looking forward to that one as well. The last prompt is Hand-Me-Down Shorts. To read a book and annotate it and then pass it on to somebody else, or share your thoughts some other way. For this challenge, I have chosen the 4 short books that are on the Book Prize long list, because I am trying to read all the books on the long list before the shortlist is announced towards the end of September. So I've got 4 books for this one. I've got One Boat by Jonathan Buckley. This one is about a grieving woman who goes to one of the Greek islands, meets up with some people that she met the last time she was there. That's all I really know. Can I just say, I know this is wrong, but this is such a boring cover and it really turns me off reading the book. I know that's a really shallow response to have, and it's not the cover that matters, but it just really doesn't urge me to pick this book up. But anyway, then we have Universality by Natasha Brown. This one is about a man who is bludgeoned to death with a gold bar, like a big, bar of gold. I read her previous book called Assembly, which I really enjoyed, so looking forward to that one. I think I'm going to enjoy this one. Then we have Audition by Katie Kitamura. This one, I don't really know what it's about. It's about a relationship between 2 people, as far as I know, and it's supposed to be very controversial, so looking forward to reading that one. And then Sea Scraper by Benjamin Wood. This one is about a man who lives a very quiet life, trying to support his family, and then someone from out of town comes in and fills his head with lofty ideas, and he wants to leave the town and go to Hollywood, I think. Jilly's here. Want to say hello to the people? Hey. Who's a good girl? It's just me and her today, so she's feeling lonely. So those are all the books that actually fit the prompts, but I have got a pile of other books that are short books that I would like to get to fairly soon. I've put them on my pile of possibilities just in case I'm in the mood to read them during September. So the first 2 are actually on my Kindle. They are Luster by Raven Lalani. I don't really know a lot about this one, but it's been very popular and I think I'm going to like it. It was in one of the Kindle daily deals for 99p, so I thought I would grab that one. And Natural Beauty by Ling Huang. Also don't know what this one is about, but it looked good at the time. We have Heads of the Coloured People by Nafisa Thompson Spires. This is a collection of short stories about race, identity and belonging, I believe. So I would like to get to that one, and that is a standing cover as well. Then we have Western Lane by Chetna Maru. This was longlisted for the Book Prize in 2023. I think this is about someone who plays tennis. I might have that completely wrong. Oh, squash. She's been playing squash since she was old enough to hold a racket. But apart from that, I don't really know what it's about. I do like this cover as well, though. God, I'm so shallow. Then we have What We Lose by Zinzi Clemens. This is a book about grief and love, which I think is probably going to break my heart. And it says on the cover, Tandy is a black woman, but often mistaken for Hispanic or Asian. She's American, but doesn't feel as American as some of her friends. She is South African, but doesn't belong in South Africa either. Her mother is dying. So that sounds like it's going to be very sad to me. The Party by Tessa Hadley. This one's super short, under 120 pages. And this one is about 2 sisters coming of age. That's all I know. Then we have Heartbreaker, short stories by Marissa Mayer. This is one I bought in the Santa Cruz bookshop on our last road trip. I just really liked the cover of this one. I'm so sure, I can't believe all these books I bought because of the cover. I do like a short story, and I think these ones are kind of gritty urban stories, which I do enjoy. So yeah, I'd like to get to that one. Then we have Things We Lost in the Fire by Mariana Enriquez. These are short stories about ghosts, demons and wild women. So who wouldn't want to read about them? And I've heard this one is superb. Then we have Of Women and Salt by Gabriela Garcia. And I think this is a dual timeline book set in 1866 in Cuba and in Miami in 2016. Open Water by Caleb Azuma Nelson. I actually started reading this book, I think probably in the last Shorty September, but I couldn't get into it, and I don't really know why, because everybody universally seems to love this book. So I want to give this one another try to see what I am missing. And then the last one in this little pile is Some Things That Meant the World to Me by Joshua Moore, M-O-H-R. Joshua Moore, not sure. This is published by $2 Radio, and I love the way they publish their books. They're such a cute, very satisfying size. This one is about a woman who was abandoned by her mother as a child, and I think it's a bit of a heart-wrenching one as well. And then I have a small pile of non-fiction memoir. Are they all memoirs? Essays, that type of thing. This one is Heartberries by Therese Marie Melo. Sorry, I butchered that name as well. And this follows the story of a young woman who grew up on an Indian reservation. Then we have Upstream by Mary Oliver, selected essays. I think Mary Oliver is well known for her nature writing, and I think this one, I don't know if this one is about the national parks, but it's about the natural world anyway. Then we have The Red Parts, an autobiography of a trial by Maggie Nelson. I think this follows the trial, so her aunt was murdered and it follows the murder trial. It's meant to be really beautifully written, so I'm very interested to read that one. Then we have Night Rooms by Gina Nutt. This is a collection of essays as well. It says on the cover, a poetic collection of personal essays that weave together fragmented images from horror films and cultural tropes to meditate on anxiety, depression, suicide, body image, identity and grief. Another great cover, love that. And then the last one I have is The Opposite of Loneliness, Essays and Stories by Marina Keegan. This is one that was doing the rounds a good few years ago. It was the winner of the Goodreads Choice Awards for non-fiction in 2014. So, God, nearly 11 years ago now. So this is a collection of essays by a young woman who went to university and she sadly died in a car crash, I think very shortly after she started university. 5 days after graduation, she died in a car crash. And this is a collection of her essays that were published posthumously. So there you go, those are all the books on my pile of possibilities. There's absolutely no way I'm going to get to all of these books, but at least I've got a good pile to choose from. If you've read any of these, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts, whether they're good or bad. And if you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It would be really helpful if you did, and I would be absolutely thrilled if you did so. So we are actually going away for the first week of September. We're staying in a villa with a pool in Croatia, and all I plan to do is sit by the pool and read. So I don't know how many books I can fit in my suitcase, but I will take as many as I can, plus my Kindle, and I will vlog at least that 1 week of reading short books in September. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe and come back and watch that video if you're interested. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.